Hello. We still have an extensive bank of very cold air sitting across Eastern Europe at the moment. Central Europe, though, something of a transition zone now through the next 48 hours. Milder air has already started to edge its way in from the west, from the Atlantic, and it will push its way further eastwards as these weather systems make greater inroads. Some strong winds, though, accompanying the rain on the way into Western Europe on Wednesday. After a very wet few days across Turkey, though, it's looking much drier in the short term, perhaps a few showers just pushing down into the north of the Black Sea. A lot of fine weather through the centre of the Mediterranean, right the way across towards the east coast of Spain, although increasing amounts of cloud here on Wednesday as we see the low pressure coming in from the west. Most of the rain holding off for the costas, though, through the middle part of the week. The winds are likely to be an issue, however, across western Spain and for France. And then we've got Storm Christoph to the northwest of Europe, develops across the UK on Wednesday, pushes out into the North Sea on Thursday. That will take very strong winds and another bout of wintry weather into Scandinavia for the end of the week. Becoming milder, though, as you can see, across Scandinavia and eventually western Russia in the days ahead as those low pressures drag the milder air further eastwards. More showers to come for Paris, 1 or 2 for Rome to end the week. Hello. Strong damaging winds are going to be a big issue across some western states of the US in the next 24 hours. Parts of California as far north as Montana could see trees down, power supplies disrupted with these strong winds that feed offshore. Some snow to come across southern California into New Mexico. Some quite persistent rain establishing itself across the south through the middle part of the week. Wetter weather also working its way further south across British Columbia again on Tuesday, but I think it will stay shy of Vancouver. The storm still continuing to impact Alaska, but the winds gradually weakening here as the area of low pressure fills. The strong winds, though, definitely a concern for California. Elevated fire risk here. Some heavier rain pushing into northern Mexico. Vancouver, as I said, looks like it will stay dry in the coming days. Sunshine for San Francisco and Los Angeles. Heading across to the east coast, it's a cold northwesterly wind that runs across the lakes on Tuesday. A little bit more lake effect snow possible here. Along the length of the east coast, generally we're seeing quite a sunny picture for the days ahead, but this weather front will tend to develop and sit in one place in the coming days, so there could be the risk of some pretty heavy rain across parts of Mississippi and Alabama later in the week, as you can see for Jackson and Mobile. Hello. If you were watching this time yesterday and took a good look at our South American satellite image, you might think it looked, well, very much like this one, because it did. This area of low pressure is sinking further south into the South Atlantic, but this weather front is just not moving. The consequence of that is a bit like leaving a tap running. The rainfall totals really mount up, and we are anticipating seeing further flooding problems across southernmost Brazil. Plenty of showers as we look further north across northern Peru, stretching in a belt across a good part of the Amazon into the north coast of Brazil. It's generally drier from Fortaleza down to Rio de Janeiro. Some sunshine here, but particularly for Santa Catarina, some very heavy rainfall to come, and not just on Tuesday, on into the middle part of the week as well. Flooding will be an ongoing concern, as you can see rain there every day in our outlook for Florianopolis. Heading further north towards Central America and the Caribbean, there'll be some heavier rain for northern Mexico in the days ahead. Mexico City often plagued with some thicker cloud, perhaps a few spots of drizzle, but quite a bit of dry weather across the region. A few showers pushing across Jamaica and eastern Cuba. Some heavier downpours possible for Costa Rica and for Panama, perhaps the wettest of the weather in our outlook for the 5 days ahead. More showers for Santa Ana. Hello. Storm Eloise is now bearing down on northern Madagascar. Whilst the winds are likely to do some damage, the rainfall is the primary concern. This swirl of cloud here moving across northern reaches of the country through the middle of the week, producing enough rain to cause some flash flooding. It then looks like it will track across the Mozambique Channel and into Mozambique through the weekend. Ahead of that, though, already some heavier than average rainfall to come from Mozambique, parts of Zambia, Namibia, Zimbabwe, as far north as Tanzania in the days ahead. For Cape Town, a lot of sunshine, but a dip in the temperatures forecast through the weekend. Some more cloud here, but heavy showers for Lilongwe and Lusaka. To the north of the continent, a lot of fine weather, chance of a few showers getting into northern Morocco on Friday as we see more unsettled conditions extending south from Western Europe. This weather front brought some heavy rain in to Turkey as it pushes in to Syria on Wednesday. I think we'll see some heavier downpours affecting Damascus. To the south, barely a cloud in the sky, a lot of sunshine, and generally we shouldn't see anything too strong in the way of winds, so visibility problems not likely to be an issue. This front, though, could bring some heavier snow into northern Iran through the latter part of the week. It does look like it will become clearer, though, for both Tel Aviv and Damascus by Thursday. Hello. From our latest satellite image, the weather's looking pretty quiet across Central Asia at the moment. Still some showers closing in on Sri Lanka to the south of the Bay of Bengal. What we don't pick up on our satellite, though, is some of the dense fog that's been sitting across northern India. That is likely to be an ongoing issue in the coming days, but perhaps less so to the far northwest of the country. We could see some of those showers from Sri Lanka, though, spilling across into Tamil Nadu on Wednesday. They could be locally heavy for a time. Let's head further north, and some unseasonably warm weather around for Tashkent and Kabul on Wednesday. We're looking at temperatures at least 10 degrees above where we'd anticipate them for this time of year. This band of cloud you see here to the north, though, is a weather front. It's a cold weather front, and as it sinks south, it will introduce cooler air. So we will see quite a dramatic fall off in those temperatures as we get further on into the week. Looking at some sunny spells for the Maldives, more heavy rain, as you can see, for Sri Lanka. Could see a few showers also affecting Bangladesh in the days ahead. There is that plunge in temperatures for Tashkent, sub-zero by Saturday, and that change is reflected in the fall for Kabul as well. Some of the colder air even getting as far south as Islamabad. Lots more sunshine to come for Dhaka, further showers on the way for Colombo. Hello. The monsoon rains have been particularly intense across Indonesia in recent days, and there has been some flash flooding. More to come here too in the outlook. Also some very wet weather closing in on the Philippines, especially to the south across Mindanao and parts of Visayas. Further north, it's high pressure setting the tone for eastern China and the Korean peninsula. That high will eventually extend further eastwards into Japan too, and we should lose some of the heavier snowfall we've seen across northern reaches of the country in recent days. But still some to come here, accompanied by gale force winds in the short term. Some drier weather across Vietnam, Cambodia and into Thailand. More showers to come for Singapore. Notably milder as we switch round to southwesterly winds for eastern China and the Korean peninsula in the next few days. For Australia, we have Kimi still just sitting offshore of Queensland. Looks like that's where it will stay in the next few days, but more heavy rain getting fed onshore here. Close eye to be kept towards the northwest, potentially for some tropical development. To the south, we're going to see some heat building, particularly for the southeast come the weekend. New Zealand still looking at very unsettled, numerous weather fronts pushing in here, particularly some heavy rain though for western slopes of the South Island. But here's a look at some of that heat building for Adelaide and Melbourne by the time we get to Sunday.